Why do girls put guys in the friend zone?
Because we don't like them, they're too nice.
What's wrong with being nice?
We like toxic.
What type of toxic?
Don't reply.
Is that your man? Is your best friend? You never Well, how long are you gonna keep leading him on like this? You pay this whole bill? Don't pay the whole bill. You still ain't Everybody say, if he pays for the bill, he's a what? They said it, not me. You want her? Hey, you want her? You got her. Hey, sit next to her. Come sit next to her. Empty can here. Hey, if she's your best friend, she'll understand. Sit right here. Sit down like the motherfucker. Your best friend's happy, you're not happy?
An attorney on TikTok encourages all women to get a prenup after soccer player, I'm not gonna say his name, is set to get half of his wife's net worth after she filed for divorce. Oh, this should be interesting.
So if you haven't heard, Moroccan soccer player Hakimi is engaged in this vicious divorce battle with his soon-to-be ex-wife over assets to be distributed upon a divorce. The problem is Hakimi took all of his assets and put them in his mama's name. Now, the fact that he did that...
The fact that she said it was a problem that he did that he put all his stuff in his mother's name, is ridiculous, especially considering everybody knows that men lose their stuff way more often than women do. But we'll talk on that after, my fault.
Now, the fact that he did that, that's a whole nother video. I'm going to give you tips on how to make sure you never end up in this situation. Step 1, get a prenup. I've talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. And you might be thinking,
my bad, this is getting way too long. I'll catch you in part 2.
I find it incredibly hard to date to the point where I actually can't get dates. So there's two perspectives on that. So if I were to go meet somebody, it's kind of hard because I don't like random people to know my real name. So obviously I'm meeting them as Adriana Chechik, and that's extremely hard. It's intimidating. I've had guys literally walk out on me when I've met them because they're so intimidated by me. And then also I've done some of the most extreme sex acts on camera that guys can't swallow or get past. I currently do kind of live like a little bit of a lonely life. There's another aspect where guys only want to date me to like show me off to other people or their friends. They immediately treat me like the Adriana Chechik like experience, right? So like if I was going to go meet a guy, like they would never hold my hand or anything. The first thing they do is they try and like have sex with me. So it's really like disheartening, to be honest, and I've kind of just given up. I feel like, sadly, I actually feel like I might not ever find like a boyfriend like that. I might just end up being alone forever.
Adriana is not the first porn star to come forward admitting to having dating struggles, and she will not be the last. Before you feel sorry for her, I want you to know that this is the same woman who called the men on TikTok an effing weirdo because he encouraged men to watch on the hub instead of wasting their hard-earned money subbing on her OnlyFans. Now that the chickens have come home to roost, she's confused as to why she can't find Mr. Right. She's also using typical buzzwords like intimidated, no ma'am, it's standards, no man must be made a laughingstock by the townsfolk for being with a town bicycle.
If I need to struggle, I can do that on my own, thank you. I don't need a man to struggle with. That makes no sense. In fact, the last couple of years, I read several books, or started to read several books by very famous celebrity coaches, female coaches, and then I shut the book and put it away after the first couple of chapters because they lost me at, I was standing broke at the grocery store and I couldn't pay my grocery bills. So I called my husband and said, this is never going to happen to me because I'm gonna do something to earn more money. Wait, you have a husband and you can't pay your grocery bill? We have a problem. We have a problem. What is that man doing sitting at home while you were at the grocery store and you can't buy the groceries? And you called him to tell him what? That you're gonna get a job or get a better job and earn more money? That is not the phone call I would have made. Because I learned the hard way. Never again. It's not worth it. It is not worth it.
You said to me last week that you would pay for them.
This boyfriend refuses to pay for his partner's birthday meal.
just can't afford it. I can't afford to see it all out as a group.
Are you joking?
No,
That's not what you said to me last week.
that's not what I thought we agreed on. I thought we agreed on me and you, and that was the thing.
Yeah, but that's on Thursday. That's next Thursday. We're going out today. It's my birthday today, and you said
Like I said, I've not
that
got
you're going to be
the spare cash
paying
at the
for them.
moment. I've not got the spare money at the moment.
Oh, guys, stop arguing. It's your
It's
birthday, like.
unbelievable.
Should be getting this stressed
Not this last minute, honestly.
I'm not a sugar daddy. If you want a sugar daddy, go and find one. It is what it is, isn't it?
There's
I'm
no
not
need
here
to
to
say
pay for
that.
everything.
That's rude.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Like, are you
It's
joking?
trying to make a joke out of me in front of your friends. It's
I'm not
Well,
trying
the
to
joke's
make
probably your
it
bank
out of you in
account
front
if
of
you
my
can't afford
friends.
it.
it is what it is, isn't it?
Why are
Same
you
way.
saying all this
Why should you
now?
have to?
I just think show it up for your friends.
No, right.
That's clearly what it is.
I've just suddenly decided.
What's the issue? You said to them that we pay. Like last week, this is the arrangement. Oh, you're saying this, I'm just slowing it down. Do you know what I mean? It's one day that I want happiness and I can't even give you that.
Like I say, for
What do you mean you're struggling? You paid for your sister's birthday.
It's
It's
family,
10 of
isn't
them.
it?
Oh, so we can pay for his sister, we can't pay
You know
for his
what? You're an absolute joke. Because I'm so sorry about this. He's just an absolute joke.
You don't have to be sorry for anything,
Like,
honestly.
they've actually travelled 1 hour to get
You're
here.
sure you don't know in front of your friends.
I'm
I think
not
that's
showing
the
up
joke.
in front of my
We're supposed
friends.
to be in a
You
relationship,
said to
aren't
me
we?
last
That's it.
week that you would pay for them. You shouldn't have said it if you weren't going to do
You
it.
heard that, you
Just
heard that, but I
as
can't
always, you
remember
never
saying that.
deliver. You never do anything for
Same
me.
as-
I've not had a
same as-
gift. I've not even had a card.
Like I said
Literally,
before,
you're
I'm
actually.
not
You didn't
sugar
even give her a
daddy.
card.
I'm
How
not sugar
cheap are
daddy.
you?
You didn't even give me a
I
card.
I feel like you should just leave, like.
Like, do you know what? I'm just
I'm
not in a good headspace right now, and you're just making it really worse.
It is what it is, isn't it?
Girls, I don't even feel like going out anymore. I'm so sorry. Like, we'll just do something at home. Because this guy is an absolute cheapskate.
Get in a lot of years. Got nothing to do, yes.
Yeah, well, that's really nice, isn't it? Especially on my birthday to tell me to get.
Were it not for videos like this, the red pill, most of you men would be in relationships where you're being finessed and disrespected. Initially, it was just going to be the boyfriend and the girlfriend, but the woman reneged on the deal at the last second, but made him out to be the villain, and all the friends gladly jumped on the bandwagon. Kudos to the guy for standing up for himself and calling off the relationship. Don't be so quick to laugh at men who don't have a +1 at your cousin's upcoming wedding, because while they might be lonely, they do not have to go through this rubbish.
Damn!
Hey everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment. I trust you've had a nice day at the VIP lounge. Until next time.
I'm seeing so much content on this app about how women's standards for men are raising so quickly because women don't feel like they need men anymore. Something I've been thinking about a lot recently is how, yes, a lot of this shift is economic. Like, women don't need a man to financially provide for them anymore. We can have a credit card, we can have a job, we can have our own apartment. But I actually think the bigger and the more interesting part of this shift is the ideological shift and the shift in our collective consciousness as women. Because I think about my mom's generation, I think about a lot of women that I grew up around. A lot of them on paper could have left their husbands. They had the financial resources, they had college degrees, they had PhDs. Some of them were more educated than their husbands, some of them were making more money than their husbands. But they were still trapped in the ideology of, I need a man to survive, I need a man to be accepted socially and in my community. And so leaving my husband or being alone is not an option. Again, I think the more important shift than actually the economic empowerment is the ideological empowerment. Is our generation now feeling that we don't need to subscribe to the old dogmas, the old ideologies, things that were put on us by religion, society, patriarchy, right? It's very much in men's interest to make us think that we cannot leave them no matter what. And as the collective consciousness of women shifts, I think it's creating this really interesting feedback loop. It's like women realize that we literally can leave. Like, you can go down to the courthouse, file for a divorce, walk away, break up with that man, get your own apartment, move out. You can do all these things. You are not trapped in a relationship. As more women are feeling this, men feel the impact of this. This is the loneliness epidemic that we're talking about that is now hitting men. And I think it's finally starting to trickle down to is men finally needing to, instead of gaslighting and trying to brainwash women into feeling that we have to stay with them, we have to be married, we have to have kids. That brainwashing is clearly not working anymore. So the final step in the feedback loop is men actually seeking support and seeking a way out of this patriarchal thinking that really hurts them as much as it's hurting women, right? Going to therapy, them seeking resources, them finding community among other men and starting to like talk about their feelings, talk about how do they grow and improve from an emotional standpoint and become better partners, better fathers, better members of a community. And starting to see this larger picture start playing out, like, yes, it's the very early days, but I do feel like it creates a lot of hope and optimism, at least for me.